about to experience a delightful new approach to sports education. This tape will guide you through the basics of golf in 10 easy-to-follow steps. You will find each step informative and stimulating to watch. We'll start with a lesson in golf attire, then we'll work our way through driving, chipping, and putting. Once you've viewed the entire tape, you'll probably find it useful to watch your favorite sections over and over again, taking full advantage of the most fascinating of our tips.
Hi, I'm Melanie Eastwood.
Hi, I'm Tawny Birch.
Hi, I'm Bobby Teal.
Tawny and Bobby will be helping me to demonstrate each of the golf tips we'll be teaching you today. I'd like to start by saying that no one who golfs ever stops learning. This tape will familiarize you with the fundamentals. By watching it often, say every night before bedtime, you'll be able to greatly improve your game. As in the case with any self-learning tape, the more you watch, the more you'll assimilate. Just a second, guys. Before we start, I'd like to take a few moments to familiarize you with the proper attire for a comfortable day of golf. Remember, Tawny, Bobby, and I are professionals. For the purposes of this tape, we have selected clothing which may not be appropriate for you to wear on the links. Tom here is wearing the typical golfing attire. Notice the cap for protection from the sun. We'll be talking more about how to deal with the sun when we get outside. Thank you, Tom. Well, ladies, are we ready?
Ready. Ready. You might ask, what does a banana have to do with golf? Well, the answer lies in facing the golfer's first problem, dehydration. A long day in the hot sun will sometimes cause dizziness, nausea, or cramps. An adequate supply of potassium will help your body to better deal with the sun's harsh effects. And we all know that bananas are a delicious source of potassium.
Complex carbohydrates such as pasta and fruit provide long-lasting energy as opposed to the candy bars and cokes normally consumed by golfers.
An adequate supply of clean, fresh water will also help.
Remember these? Jumping jacks. Vigorous exercise such as this is probably the worst possible way to warm up those muscles. Notice how violently the body jostles and jerks when we do this exercise. Okay, now that we've shown you the wrong way to warm up, let's talk about the right way. Tawny? Tawny starts by swinging a 7-iron at about a quarter speed. Then she stretches the large muscles in her legs. She applies steady pressure from the toe in order to make those muscles stretch. Notice she does not bounce. That could cause injury. When you do these correctly, you should feel a warming sensation here. Bobby is demonstrating another technique. With this exercise, the tension can be felt in the groin muscles, here and here. Don't forget the old golfer standby. Club behind the back, arms stretched, and twist. This will loosen up those external and internal obliques and the spinae erecti. Easy now. Take your time and warm up for at least 5 minutes before heading out onto the course. You will never be an effective golfer unless you learn the proper way to hold the club. Different kinds of strokes demand different grips. You should hold the shaft one way to drive and another to putt. Although professional golfers differ in the way they teach the grip, they all seem to agree on the basics.
First of all, for the purposes of this tape, we'll be teaching every aspect of the game from a right-handed perspective. You can determine which of your hands is the right one by using a simple mnemonic device. Hold your right and left hands out in front of you like this. Your palm should be facing away from your body. When you hold your fingers together and open your thumb like this, you will notice that one of your hands makes an L. That is your left hand. Your right hand is the other one.
Thanks, Bobby. Now let's take a look at the proper way to grasp the golf club. It's important to grasp the club firmly, but not too tightly. Most of the power will be coming from the middle fingers, not your thumb and index finger. Now take your right hand and grasp the shaft just in front of the left hand. The club should run across your fingers and the back of your palm. Your hands should interlock. Here's how it works. Notice that the right pinky overlaps the left index finger. By locking our hands together in this fashion, we can be sure that they will work together as one unified force. Here's another important detail.
Notice how a V is formed between the thumb and the index finger of Tawny's left hand. If her hand is in the correct position, the V will point directly at her left shoulder.
If you look over my shoulder, you will notice that this V is easy to see. By looking at your other hand from the same angle, you will notice that it too makes a V. Your right hand V should point at your chin. Let's go over that again, Bobby. First, grasp the shaft firmly with your left hand. It should lie across the first knuckle and under the pad of the palm. Second, place your right hand so that it overlaps the left one slightly, overlapping the left index finger with the right pinky finger. The V formed between your left finger and thumb should point at your right shoulder. The V formed between your right finger and thumb should point at your chin.
Gripping the shaft tightly with the thumb and forefinger will create unwanted stress in your swing. Most of the work should be done by your palm and middle fingers. When the grip is right, the club will be under your complete control.
This grip, called the Varden, is the most popular grip in golf. Before we teach you how to line up your shot, we should look at how to insert your tee. Place the tee between your index and middle finger like this. Some golfers recommend teeing the ball high so that they get more lift. For our purposes, however, we will be placing the tee into the ground so that it stops 1 finger width from the turf. There's no need to pre-drill the hole with special equipment. Simply push firmly with 1 thumb until you achieve the proper penetration. Ah, that feels about right. Now, if the tee feels too loose or crooked, be sure to pull it out and stick it back into a different hole. It will not perform well unless it's sitting firm and standing straight. Now let's take a look at the least appreciated and most important part of golfing, the stance. Bobby and Tawny will be assisting me in this portion of the tape by demonstrating the back view as I demonstrate the frontal view. First, we take up our position with respect to the ball. By extending the club and laying it next to the ball, we can adequately gauge the proper location for our feet. If we stand too close to the ball, like this, notice how cramped my arms are in relation to the rest of my body. How in the world am I ever going to get anything done in this position? Now let's look at what happens when we stand too far from the ball. Notice how difficult it becomes to reach the ball. We have to bend way over, putting ourselves in an awkward position. This is particularly stressful for the large muscles in the buttocks. Your bottom should be relaxed whenever you pick up a golf club. If your bottom is tight, nothing will swing properly. Just look at the difference between Bobby's bottom and Tawny's bottom. Tawny is too far from the ball. Notice how her muscles have tightened. Now look at Bobby's bottom. Notice how her bottom has completely relaxed, making it easy for her to concentrate on the swing. Let's look at that one more time. Remember, a tight bottom like this will greatly hamper your ability to swing, but a loose bottom like this will pave the way for an exciting day on the fairway. Now that we understand the importance of ball proximity, we continue our discussion of the stance. We are now standing at a comfortable distance from the ball with our feet spread slightly apart. The distance between your feet should closely approximate the width of your shoulders. A wider stance will prevent you from rotating your hips properly as you swing. Once again, the muscles in your buttocks will tighten, as Bobby demonstrates. This unwanted stress can be eliminated by carefully testing your stance distance ratio.
This ratio can easily be calculated by measuring the distance from the ground to your groin and dividing by the distance between your feet. This is commonly referred to as the groinological ratio. The ratio should be more than pi, but less than pi squared. Keep your feet perpendicular to the hole. Your left toe should be turned slightly toward the pin. Keep your back straight and flex your knees as if beginning to sit down. Don't squat too far. The excess pressure on your sphincter might cost you a penalty for breaking wind. Now we're in position and ready to swing. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Let's swing.
Visualize a line from the ball to the pin and place your club perpendicular to that line. Your weight should be evenly distributed. The swing sequence begins a chain reaction of tension, starting with the inner thighs, through the torso, along the arms and hands, past the club, and into the ball in a climactic moment of released tension.
By deliberately building and releasing tension in the proper manner, your hips should rotate away from the target as you take the club away from the ball and over your head. At this point, with tension at its climax, your weight should have shifted to the right side. Then, it's all a matter of surrendering to the swing.
As you rotate your hips, your momentum will naturally carry your weight to the left and through the ball. The tension release and weight shift combine, giving you much more power than merely swinging your arms could possibly generate. And all of this will work nicely if you keep your head still.
As you can see, there is a lot to think about. Let's try to make it a little easier.
The swing is a golfer's best opportunity to show off his individuality. As you can tell by watching Tawny and Bobby, every golfer has a different swing. Many novice golfers spend hours watching the experts, trying to copy their swings. Tawny, Bobby, and I have a different philosophy. We've invented a revolutionary new self-learning discipline. We call it Yank It and Spank It. This amazing technique took many years of intensive research to fine-tune. In fact, it was only after years of training that Tawny and Bobby and I were able to become professional swingers. If you follow the simple step-by-step procedures outlined here, you will quickly learn to enjoy the Yank It and Spank It principle.
Yank It and Spank It is a subliminal video learning tool. Although frequent viewing is important for perfecting your swing, prolonged solitary use could eventually lead to blindness.
Now, as we are about to begin, find yourself in a comfortable position. Relax, prop your feet up, and concentrate on the images coming from your television screen. And a quick word of caution here, these powerful images are likely to have a hypnotic effect on you. Never operate heavy machinery while playing the tape.
Don't worry, if at any time during the viewing of this tape you are called upon to respond to an emergency, you will be able to come to full consciousness without harmful side effects. Now sit back and enjoy the video. Swing low.
As you know, much of golf is psychological. Some golfers get into a rhythm from hole to hole. They realize that by establishing a routine at each shot, they can take their minds off the individual intricacies of the grip, stance, and swing. Many professional golfers talk about nods, looks, and waggles. All of these pre-shot activities have one purpose in mind: rhythm.
That's right, Bobby. Here's what we're talking about. I like to set up my shot with 2 looks, a double grip, and a waggle.
I use a hair toss and a waggle.
I just waggle.
Okay, let's demonstrate.
This is a look. After the second look, I waggle. This is the proper way to waggle. Put it all together and it looks like this.
Nice waggle, Tawny. Let me show you the hair toss. First, I start with my hair over to the side like this, and then I give it a toss. It looks great in slow motion. After the hair toss, I waggle. My waggle is a little more pronounced than Tawny's. Here's what it looks like in slow motion. This graceful action sets up a rhythm for each shot, and the result is consistency.
I'm a strong believer in simplicity. I just waggle. Believe it or not, I'm often complimented on my waggle technique.
Now that we've carefully studied the swing, let's talk about the specialties, the woods and the irons. Your stance will only be slightly wider with the woods, but the grip and swing should be identical for either of these clubs. The only difference between the woods and the long irons is that the long irons work without a tee.
So if I'm hitting a wood, I tee up first, I set my stance slightly wider than shoulder length, I place the ball slightly forward, then I yank it and spank it.
I've got a long fairway shot. I've selected a 3-iron. The ball is slightly forward of my stance. My feet are slightly wider than shoulder width. It's just like a wood shot, except for the fact that I have no tee.
I've got a reasonably short shot to hit the green. I can't get there on a chip, and a long iron would put me well past the pin. So I'm hitting a 5-iron. My stance is now standard shoulder length, and my ball is smack in the middle of the stance. Let's see if I can hit the green.
By now we're much closer to the green, and a full swing will not be accurate enough to give us a good birdie shot. We want to be able to control this shot by abbreviating the swing. The short irons will give us that extra control.
Here's how we tackle the shot. First, we're going to want to open our stance. This is an open stance. Notice how my feet are pointed to the left of the pin. This simple change in my stance will accomplish one very important thing. It will restrict my swing. Because my hips are turned, I will not be able to fully extend my swing. The shortened swing will greatly improve my accuracy, but it will seriously shorten my range. Since we are already close to the hole, the shortened range is not a problem.
So the trade-off is accuracy for distance, right, Bobby?
That's exactly right, Melanie.
Remember, it's not important how long you are off the tee. You have to be able to get it up and down around the green. That's the only way to score.
I've got a big old bunker in my way. I'm going to chip it over the top and land it on the green. A wedge to do the trick. Let's see.
Before we move on to the sand trap, let's pause for a few words about the effects of heat. As the day wears on, the heat can destroy your concentration. It's important to stay cool if you want to stroke well. Many golf courses use elaborate sprinkler systems to keep the turf in a healthy, luscious green condition. Bobby, Tawny, and I use every opportunity to avail ourselves of the cooling effects of water evaporating on our skins. So let's take just a moment to cool off at a nearby sprinkler. Ah, that was refreshing. Now before we move on to the sand trap, let's talk about tanning oils. No matter what kind of sun protection you choose, it's important to consider its effects on your equipment. Oil will build up on the shaft of your putter if care is not taken when using sunscreens. Use these oils sparingly to prevent damage to your equipment. There's no shot in golf more feared than the trap shot, and there's really no reason for it. With the right attitude, you can make even the most difficult sand shot seem easy. Right, Tawny?
There is no piece of advice more important than these 2 tips. Number 1, hit the sand, not the ball. Number 2, explode out of the pit.
Before you line up your shot, make sure your stance is open and sink your feet into the sand. The sand shot is a different kind of animal. You don't want to hit the ball, you want to hit the sand. The ball will ride on a cushion of sand if it is hit properly. Watch. Wasn't that easy? Notice how shallow my swing is?
The club is open toward the hole. My stance points to the left of the hole. That's what I mean by keeping an open stance. Notice also how the ball seems to explode out of the trap. Let's watch again, this time in close-up.
If you hit the sand right, just behind the ball, there will be considerable lift pushing the ball up and over the bunker. The ball will virtually explode out of the trap. Come on, Bobby, give it a try. Bobby is demonstrating another important aspect of the game, shot celebration. It is important to celebrate a good shot without rubbing your opponent's nose in it. That is, of course, assuming that your opponent does not wish to have his nose rubbed in it. In Bobby's case, her opponents often enjoy a good sound rubbing. Thank you, Bobby. No matter how well you drive, no matter how accurately you chip, if you don't putt well, you won't enjoy the game. Putting is probably the most mentally challenging part of golf. It is the least difficult of all the swings, but it is the payoff for everything that precedes.
You know, I think the ball's gonna roll downhill. Can you see the slant from here?
The next time you practice your putting, try one of our concentration techniques. Once you've tried it, you'll never again be able to think of the hole in quite the same way.
Here's concentration technique number 1. The ball is cozy in the hole.
Focus on the television screen and repeat after me. The ball is cozy in the hole. The ball is cozy in the hole. The ball is cozy in the hole.
Swinging the putter really is an art form all its own. We start with a normal stance. The ball is on a line, drawn from the inside of my left foot. When I swing, I must be careful to move my shoulders and arms, not my wrists. My arms should move straight through the ball firmly, like this.
Notice how the grip has changed. That bead we were referring to earlier no longer points over my shoulder. The thumb is now centered straight down the middle of the putter. Once again, it is important to hold the shaft firmly without squeezing the life out of it.
The most important part of golf is the wager. Without it, we could have about as much fun playing pickup sticks with our butt cheeks. Let's talk about the 3 most productive wagering techniques. For the purposes of this exercise, I'll be playing the role of Mel, a car salesman from Nantucket. And Bobby will be portraying Bob, a televangelist from Walla Walla. Say, Bob.
Yes, ma'am?
How would you like to make a little wager on the next hole?
I'm sorry, Mel. I don't bet. It makes the game too damn competitive.
Now, many inexperienced golfers would probably leave it at that, but we're pros, and we just don't give up quite so easily. Make the wager sound as if it's not a wager at all. You know, Bob, I fully agree with you. 2 normal people might easily fall into the competition thing, but good thing you and me are pals. Right, Bob?
Right, Mel.
I tell you what, let's make the game a little bit more interesting. How about a little bingo, bango, bongo?
Gee, Mel, I didn't know you were into that.
Bingo is first on, bango is first in, and bongo is last off.
Sounds like fun, Mel. But I'm not so sure what that has to do with golf.
Bingo is first on the green, bango is first in the hole,
and bongo is last off the 18th. It makes the game so much more interesting. If I make it to the green in fewer strokes than you buy me a beer. If you make it to the hole in fewer strokes than me, I buy you a beer. If I beat you off the 18th, you buy me a beer. How about it, Bob?
Hell, Mel, you can beat me off any day of the week. But like I said, what's that got to do with golf?
We'd like to conclude by taking a few moments to talk frankly with you about our philosophy of golf. What follows is a compilation of our most useful tips condensed into a visually stimulating montage of performance-enhancing mottos. Bobby, Tony, and I would like to thank you for watching, and we invite you to write to us for more tips and answers on other sports topics. The ball is cozy. I never met a bottom I didn't like. B. It's a long way. There's no Cornbread are delicious. The simplest way to test out a height is a light spanking. That feels tough.
Nice waggle, Bobby.
I don't want you to look like you're making fun of me.
I know,
It should be more like, nice waggle, Bobby. Yeah, here we go.
Duh.
Okay.
Speed.
Nice waggle, Bobby.
Okay. Just say nice waggle, Bobby, and stop. You got a great style. Nice waggle and a stop.
Okay.
Action.
Nice waggle, Bobby.
Bro.
I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry.
You went like this.
Okay.
Just that sweet smile you've been doing at the end of all these things.
Okay, I'll do it.
Oh.
Speed.
Stance.
No, say
Pie.
Action.
This is a look.
Now,
I did
don't
something
know
weird
what
with my
you did
lips.
with your lips.
Well, I was
That
licking
out.
them or something, okay.
Okay, here we go. And action.
This is a look. I couldn't get them higher. They were already up there.
Okay, that's a
You're like,
look.
A long day in the hot sun will sometimes cause dizziness, nausea, or cramps. An adequate supply of potassium will help your body to better seal it.
Head down. Go. Cut. That's great. You're overplaying.
Okay.
That's when we do Frogman TNA.
It is important to celebrate the good. That is, of course, assuming that your opponent.
From the top.
That is, of course. I lost my place.
I'm rolling. Just reset when he's ready and just go back into it.
I'm gonna get it this time.
All right. Roll tape.
We're rolling.
Action.
Take 18.
Wait, girls, you gotta stop. Top left. Okay.
Okay.
Action.
It is important to celebrate a good shot without rubbing your opponent's nose in it.
From the
That-
top.
That wasn't good.
From the top.
That is, of course, assuming that your opponent does not wish to have his nose rubbed in it.
From the top.
Bobby is demonstrating another.
Complex carbohydrates, such as pasta and fruit, provide long-lasting energy as opposed to the candy bars and cokes normally consumed by golfers.
Do it again. Only take a much bigger bite. Twice the size.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't talk that way.
Get on me. Get away from that. You're going to tell her that.
I'm not telling
You're
her
telling her
that.
to take
She
that.
keeps saying I can't
Put
do
a
it.
whole
Take
bunch
a
in your
bigger
mouth.
bite.
Here we go.
Spade.
Wait a minute, you can't understand my words.
Right.
That's the idea. Here we go.
Spade.
It's to get the banana off her lips.
Buy you beer.
Keep going.
If I bet you off the 18th, you buy me a beer. How about it, Bob?
Hell, Mel, you can beat me off any day this week. Oh, Jesus Christ. Does that say you can beat me off any day of the week? It makes games too damn competitive. Fuck that up, didn't we?
All right, Bob.
Yeah.
Your nipple is showing.
Is it?
Hey, take that.
Well, from your point of view. Sorry.
There you go.
Will we walk in?
Yeah, you're a yes man.
Yeah.
Well, when?
On cue.
Say action.
Spade.
Your muff is in the
Yeah, up muff a little bit. There you go.
My muff.
No, audio man. I'm talking about
That's why the muff.
Halaboo, bingo, bango, bongo. And you're sitting there going.
Is that too hard?
No, that's good.
The hole.
Become the hole.
Right on it.
Okay.
And look at her when she's talking to you.
Okay.
Ready? It's a conversation. Okay. Funny.
Yeah, that's better. That's a lot.
Rolling as you are when you're kidding around with us.
Okay.
Hammer it up. There we go.
All right.
You need to fix your swimsuit box.
Like that. Roll.
Hang on. I got a nipple. Hang on.
I got bugs crawling.
If I make it to the hole in fewer strokes than me.
Notice how violently the body jostles and jerks when we do this exercise.
Speeding.
Waggle, waggle, waggle. 7, 8, 10. Good.
This is a waggle, not a clog. Here we go. You rolling?
Speed.
Waggle, waggle, waggle.